I would love to thank the Siller Foundation for definitely keeping us in mind. I want to thank everyone for coming together in a difficult time. I know this is like the hardest time to, gather yourself, but it's a beautiful thing that we all came together.
Yadira Arroyo's son there, just another example of how the Tunnel to Towers Foundation just goes beyond helping wounded warriors and also their firefighters and the children of firefighters, but even those that are lost, our first responders, NYPD, EMTs, Tunnel to Towers Foundation, always there.
Police, people all over the country are being supported by the foundation. The One World Trade Center right there, it was the site of the first ever Footsteps to the Future gala designed to raise funds and set up an endowment. The goal is to be able to lend the same level of support to families when they need it most, and to do it well into the future.
CBS 2 has team coverage on this senseless loss. We begin with Jessica Layton.
This is a woman who went to work every day with the sole purpose of saving lives.
The senseless death of New York City EMT Yadira Arroyo left her 5 sons without a mother. Moved by the heartbreaking tragedy, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation immediately started a fundraising effort. It contributed the first $100,000, and with additional donations from 37 states and from as far away as England, it raised just over $220,000 to help support Arroyo's sons.
It fills my heart with joy to know that a lot of people have come, and some didn't even know us personally or didn't even know my mom, but they still helped because they heard about what happened. And it's beautiful that this is a world where not just people are coming to bring each other down, but also bring each other up in times like this.
We're going to make sure that the money is given to them in a smart way that help them so they can have the life that their mom wanted them to have.
She touched America's heart, so we give this to you.
Scott Lebedo was commissioned to paint a portrait of Yadira Arroyo. He's best known for painting literally thousands of American flags all over the country. The painting memorializes her image and was presented to her 5 sons as a way to honor her memory for future generations.
I think it's definitely going to bring back a lot of memories. There's going to be a lot of nostalgia when I see it. It'll always be a good story to tell my kids too when they see it.
To do this in front of her boys was very, very powerful for me. Very touching. The artist is here to portray society, and that's an American hero,
Immediately following the emotional press conference, the observatory at One World Trade Center became the scene of the inaugural Footsteps to the Future gala. The gala honored 3 individuals for their contributions and support of the foundation. They included the president of CBS television stations, Peter Dunn.
To be here tonight in order to reflect on the impact the Tunnel to Towers has had on so many people and so many lives, and to recognize the legacy Stephen Siller has left behind, feels important and totally necessary.
The co-founder and co-CEO of CCA Global Partners, Howard Brodsky.
I think it's more important to do what's right than what's in the rule book. You should do what's in your heart and what's in your soul.
And the chairman and CEO of Mohawk Industries, Jeff Lorberbaum.
I think there's about 150 more seriously wounded veterans waiting for smart homes. As we celebrate how far we've come for building for America's bravest, let's all commit to do whatever it takes to help those veterans as well.
The gala also included an auction run by former Saturday Night Live cast member Joe Piscopo.
20 once, 20 twice. Sold $20,000.
I think it's Stephen Siller running through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel and then losing his life right here, right on this hollowed ground here. And then they took that legacy and they just helped thousands of others. But there's no other foundation really like it.
The success of the gala has the foundation well on its way towards achieving that goal of starting an endowment with $1 million. They want to try to ensure that Tunnel to Towers can help families of first responders well into the future.
We want to continue the good work in my brother's honor forever. And the only way to do that is to build up a nest egg, an endowment, so that years and years and years from now that we have enough money to sustain the work that we're doing. When something happens like EMT Yadira Arroyo, that we make sure that we're there for her.
And we're honored as every year to be joined by Steven Siller's siblings. This is George and this is Mary. Thank you guys for being with us once again this year. Mary, let's start with you. The foundation, the endowment. Talk to us about the goals. I mean, because this every year has become so great, but you're going to take it a step further, right?
Yeah, we realize how important it is that we're here today. Is obviously it's following Steven's physical footsteps, but the spirit part, the selflessness, the sacrifice that he and all the first responders did, but we want that to be able to live on by doing good work. So the real goal of the endowment is sustainability. We need to build up funds so that we can keep doing this for a long time.
And one of those funds, and to build on that, is a program called Standing Tall. George, tell us about that.
Well, it's Stand Tall at standtall.nyc, or go to the website and click on the Stand Tall icon. Over the years, we've donated $4 million to police, fire, and EMS. These are the guys that stood tall for us and women. And we're asking people to donate $11 a month to the Stand Tall program so we can keep continuing paying off mortgages and supporting all the rescue workers for years to come.
Excellent.
$11 a month, not a lot to ask. Thank you, Mary and George.
What amazing work you do. When we return, the Tunnel to Towers, we will be joined by the rest of the Siller family.
Yes, we will, and we'll also take a look back at all the work the foundation has done this year when the 16th annual Tunnel to Towers Run returns.